y'all, this is Audra Hicks, your Tennessee Realtor. Today I wanted to talk about permits. So please don't forget to hit that subscribe button and stay tuned because I put the real in real estate. So I wanted to go over permits and what you need to do whenever you're building. Like for us, what we have been going through for a few months is the permitting process to build our what we were going to do a garage, a pole barn. Now we're thinking we're going to do a stick built garage. So even in the permit process, I wanted to try to go over that a little bit about what we have been through really with the county. Now, we are in Sumner County in Portland, Tennessee. So, first off, had to go to the planning department. We do have our friend, client, like family that is going to do all of our groundwork and stuff. And so we already have that person. We through the process, we've gotten so many estimates on garages from pole barns to stick built, stick framed, concrete people, electrical. You have plumbing involved. You have all this stuff, HVAC, everything involved in what you want in the garage, how many doors you want, what size, all of that. So we know our size. It's a 40 by 60 with a 12-foot lean-to, so that's 52 by 60. And then, when you do all of the groundwork to do the pad, it has to be so many feet around as well before they do the slab. So anyway, the permit process has been something. Like, I have a newfound appreciation for builders and what they have to go through in the permitting process. So, if you have your plat of your land, your survey, that tells you a lot right there. It's going to show you your DA areas, your alternate areas where you would be able to move your septic lines should you need to do that if you were needing to move those and build on top. Where we decided to put the building, which was our initial side that we wanted to put it on to begin with, but in the process, we didn't know if we really wanted to move septic lines because the garage would go right on top of our existing septic field lines. So we've had the septic person out month before last or so, I guess, to look at that. We've had the dirt haulers in here to truck in dirt and stuff like that. We've had all these different people come here to figure this all out. And in the process, all the permitting stuff, now I kind of have a newfound appreciation, like I said, for contractors who have to do things right and go through the permitting process. It's like when you do things right, you get headaches and roadblocks involved. But the people that don't do it right can end up in the end, having to tear things out and redo it or whatever. We do things right. If we go to sell, we want to make sure that everything's done properly. Our plans now are to stay put because we love where we are. We love our home. We love our neighborhood. We love the area. We don't plan on going anywhere. And that's why we decided we would go ahead and move forward with building us a garage and detached garage. We already have a basement with garage and all of that, but we wanted a detached one, especially to put our RV in, and we will eventually get a different RV, a bigger one and stuff. So that's why we went with the sizes and stuff. So go into the planning department. You have to give them a drawing of where you're putting things and where things are for them to look at, along with, all of your I carried all the septic info, the plat amendment, all of that, because we have a plat amendment from 2005. Well, that plat amendment, since we are going that route of building it on the right side of our home and gonna need to move our existing field lines for the septic, We then had to pull a permit with TDEC. Now, I'm going to go over a little bit of cost too to give people an idea of cost of things. So I think it was $75 for the permit at the planning department. Which I initially thought they were going to do a building permit too, but it is more of the ground disturbance, and they're going to make sure in the planning department that they're going to tell us if we can build our garage there. So before we go back there, even though I paid the 75, gave them an initial plan on building it in the back. We don't think that would work as good. It's going to cost even more money. Even besides moving our field lines, it costs more money in dirt to build up retaining walls. They would kill our existing driveway, so we would end up having to do another driveway. We don't think that we'd be able to, turn around good where it would be on that side. So I had called the planning department to let them know, hey, we are moving it back to the right side. So we want to try to move forward and see what we need to do. See if TDEC, which is Tennessee Department of Environmental and Conservation, to do with our septic, will let us do that. So they don't see now they don't see an issue in it, but we have like 4 alternate areas. We've got good soil here. So anyway, they put our file on hold until we get the proper things done now ahead of time. So TDEC has been out. Then we were waiting on the surveyor. The surveyor has to come out, which he did yesterday. They needed to stake off all of the alternate areas for the TDEC guy to come back out and make sure that it'll work. But yesterday we were told 100% we'll be able to move it. We just need to pick our area. So I think one's going to cost like $12,000 to move it. One is probably going to be half that. So we're going to figure all that part out. So there's that. And the survey can cost probably about $2,000-$3,000, maybe a little bit more, because the work that they have to do. They came out yesterday, done the survey, staked that off. They also done all the staking off, and they were here for hours doing the alternate areas. And they actually, they know the environmentalist anyway, so called him. So he's set up to, I think, to come back out now. And then once he does his thing, then the surveyor has to come out and do a new plat amendment, because the county requires that. I understand now why, but I'm like, why do we need to pay for that? That's part of that more expensive cost with your surveyor, because what they're going to do is do a plat amendment where the new garage will be going. And it cannot be where it's going to be over top of the existing field line. So you have to have a brand new one to show that you're moving those two and stuff too. So all of that has to go into play. So a new plat amendment. When all of that is done, plus he'll do let's see, a site plan and stuff too for us to take in to show where we're proposing to have that garage. So I called the county yesterday and I'm like, so after all of this, y'all still can tell us we can't build our garage over there, right? Like spending thousands of dollars ahead of time. But she can't really say we can or can't. But she did go over the things for us that would cause us not to be able to build it over there. One was cannot encroach our soil lines. You cannot be within 10 feet of those. So we're not going to be. We're moving those. So that's not an issue for us. Another is the setbacks. On our first plat amendment that was done in 2005, looks like there's a 30-foot setback on the side yard instead of the 20-foot that they only require. She said, so then you need to go to your deed restrictions and make sure. So did that. But the plat amendment shows 30 feet. So all of that, 30 feet. So we're building a 52 by 60, and we have over 100 feet from that side to our house. So we should be good. Okay. All of that should be good. And then you can't put it in front of your house, which it's not going to be in front of our house. It's going to be on the side of our house. So all of that, fingers crossed, we should be good. So then once we get all of this stuff done with the surveyor, Tennessee Department of Environmental and Conservation, that was $500 to have them do that. Let's see. So when we go back to the planning department with all the stuff that they required ahead of time and our new site plan, then we'll pay $400 once they approve it and come back to pick up that permit. Then we will pay $400 for the ground disturbance permit. So that's where we can get started doing all of our groundwork, the pad, hauling in everything. But first, we'd have to move all the septic before we even have that done. So there's a process here. I think I haven't forgotten anything on that part. Well, yeah. When I went there originally, she said, okay, by the way, do you have your deed? I said, no. So I went next door, got the deed, brought it back. I'm like, I didn't know I needed that, but I am a realtor, so I know how to find all that. So I went next door, got it, brought it back. County Highway Department, she said you'd have to go pull a permit for driveway connection. It's a driveway connection permit. And I'm like, but we have an existing driveway. We will be putting another driveway in to go to that building, though. She said, just go over there. It was $50 for that. He came out in a few days. That was cool. He was in his truck the whole time, and he called me and said that we're all good. Great. Well, that was taken care of pretty quick. So still don't understand why they do that. I mean, they've already been out. A neighbor just built a garage. They already know the storm drains are good and all of that. So anyways, had to do that. The surveyor, TDEC, the septic guy that's going to do it all of that's coming into play during this process. Plat amendment. Then she told me yesterday, she's like, then you do your building permit. And I'm like, okay, so we go to codes department to pull that. I said, so how much is that one and how long is it good for? Because by the way, the ground disturbance permit is good for 18 months. By the time you get all this done, I mean, it might be a while before the building of the garage is there because you got to start getting the septic lines moved, get on the books for that. That might be a few weeks out. Then I think the builder that we have chose out in Lobelville, they're about 7 or 8 weeks out. So by the time we finally get all of our permitting and know that we can move forward, then we have to get on their books too. So there's a lot of things that go into play. It is like ridiculous to build and very costly to do that up front. So, and then to be told, hey, you can't build I mean, that would be hard, a hard pill to swallow. So the building permit, after we go get all of that, then you go do a building permit. I was told by the surveyor, I think it's 12 months is what that's good for. So you can go do your building permit and do that. Then I'm sure they're going to have to come out and look at different stages of the building. I know how that goes. But that's kind of in the gist of it. Besides, us all, talking to different garage builders, from builders to a general contractor doing it, to the cost of having a barn place do it that does pole barns, garages, to finally we found a place that does pole barns, but they also do the stick built 2 garages. So we think we are going to go with that. Now, I mean, I'll update y'all as the process goes and let you know what we did do. But it's 16 foot tall. It will be 40 by 60 with a 12-foot lean-to right now. So I will hopefully get to do some videos in the process of that. Of what goes on in the process. So more to come on that, but I thought it would be interesting to do a video today on the permitting process and what you go through while you're trying to build. So it's not like you can go start building a garage tomorrow. I mean, common sense tells you that. It's going to take 6 weeks, 8 weeks, depending on if you need to. I mean, it would have probably already been done had we not had to move septic lines anyway. So, there's that. But when you do, then it still takes a couple of months to get it done. And because whoever you decide to go with too, it will be whatever their schedule's like as well. So more to come on that, but I just thought I would come on here and kind of go over the things that we've had to go through and still going through trying to build our detached garage. So hopefully this has helped you. If it has, please subscribe, like, and share with your family and friends, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye, y'all.